Hey everybody, I thought I'd shoot a quick update of the garden. Got another tomato looking good. These are my tomato plants and these are 8-foot stakes. So let me show you. Actually they're 8-foot boards, so I got from Lowe's for 98 cents, which is not too bad. That's what they look like. And they're setting fruit, so that's a good sign. I really don't want huge tomato plants. I'd rather have huge tomatoes, but it's probably a result of me starting these too early. But I do have some tomatoes on here. These are yellow pear, nice looking little tomatoes. Of course, the one I got in Myrtle Beach early this year, you can see it's got several nice sets. This is a Parks Whopper. Cherry tomatoes, which is already looks like 7 feet. This is a, can't remember what this one is. Beef Master. I just got a few tomatoes on it, but it's mostly vine, so it's got some sets up there. We'll see how that one does. So these are looking okay. This one is a Parks Whopper too. Some tomatoes back in here, nice ones. More over here. More up there. And down there. These are pretty nice looking pepper plants. The problem is there's no peppers. I think we've had some, it's probably due to the weather that we've been having. I don't think it's hot enough for these. So I'm going to have to stake those and I guess just keep them going. Hopefully they'll produce some peppers for me. These are my Rutgers. I started from seed early. Better boys. These are nice looking tomatoes. These are Juliet. Nice sets here. Kind of grape shaped. And I do have German Johnson over here. A couple of those. So yeah, tomatoes are getting tall. And I have some tomatoes on there. And there's the view. It looks kind of strange, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Alright. New box over here. I have green beans, okra. Got a couple holes there. I sowed some more okra in that spot. These are more green beans. These are Blue Lake bush beans. Producing lots of squash here. Everywhere. And these guys are really helping me out a lot. They're everywhere. It's a good sign. So tons of squash through here. Cucumbers in the back. Got some little tiny cucumbers. Not much to see back there right now. Potatoes and tires are flowering. This is another yellow pear tomato plant. This celebrity I believe is done. This is a bush. Yeah, determinate. And it's got a few more little tomatoes on it, but most of them are down here, and they're pretty good size. That one's got a little boo-boo on it, but I'll still eat it. It won't bother me. So nice sized tomatoes on this plant. In the back, cucumbers are up to the top of the trellis. I have to train these back down. And I do have some small cucumbers on there. This Roma has done great in this spot and it has set fruit everywhere. Just beautiful tomatoes. I couldn't be any more pleased with this plant. So next year I'm definitely going to grow me some more Romas. Cucumbers, I do have one back here somewhere. There he is back there in the back. I don't know if you can see him. So, I think I'll make some cucumbers. These squash, we've been eating off these. These are straight neck. They're producing nicely. Had about a dozen squash so far this year, which is pretty good for middle of May. Well, closer toward the end now. So, there's some squash over here. This pepper plant does have peppers on it. So that's a good sign. Maybe I will make some peppers. This one's in the garden, so I don't know what the difference is. And see, these aren't as tall either. So, who knows? Onions, my potatoes. I've been eating some potatoes this week, so that's a good sign. I do have potatoes under there. And some pretty decent size. I picked some that were about the size of a baseball. So that's not bad. Green beans are flowering. I do have some small little green beans on here. I don't know if I can find one. There's one. If you can see it. Tiny little green bean. And it's putting off a lot of flowers. These are Bush Blue Lake green beans. I found they really produce well in these raised beds. So we've got flowers all over the place on these. Zucchini, been eating some zucchini. I did have some issues or some worries with some powdery mildew. You can see some of it on this one. So I'm trying to keep these sprayed with some neem oil. But I think they look okay. Got some small zucchini on here somewhere. There's one down in there. Alright. More squash. And these are producing nicely as well. That's a decent size one right there. Alright, let's look at my peppers on the other side over here. I don't think I mentioned this box. This has got some more squash, believe it or not, that I've started from seed last week, and they're ready to come up. Got a couple more cabbages in there. This box over here has 2 rows right along the front here, purple whole peas, and 2 rows of okra in between these 2 tomato plants. And speaking of this tomato plant is a homestead. It has a couple tomatoes on it. You can see some of these blossoms have dropped off. So I think it is due to the weather. We had a 40-some degree weather. Night the other night, so that's probably all. I think they'll survive. Alright, let's look at the greenhouse. Oh, this is the squash that I had in the greenhouse. Putting off some squash. Lots of little ones. A little pepper bed that I made last week. These look good. These are Hungarian wax. I think last week I said they were something else. So these are Hungarian wax peppers, and I have some peppers on there. So these are doing better than the ones I've got in the buckets. Oh well. Not much going on in the greenhouse. Probably going to start some more squash in here. I do have some cilantro back there in the pots, and a couple tall tomato plants, and some short ones that I started from seed. And I did plant a few more tomatoes back here. And I've got my 8-foot stakes just in anticipation. So anyway, everything's looking good. Hope everybody's doing well. Here's a view of the garden real fast. Down here. nice day here. Y'all have a good week, and thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment. Take it easy.